People do not talk enough about how psychologically challenging it is to grow a business. I went from 500 subscribers after my first year on YouTube to 100,000 in a six-figure business 2.5 years in. And the thing is, I did not believe in myself. At every single point, I was mired in self-doubt and anxiety. I did not think I would succeed. And in general, I think the advice of just believing yourself is actually extremely overrated. People say this like it is like a switch you can flip, a thing that you can just do, but beliefs don't work that way. To build an unshakable belief that can survive being tested, our brains need proof. And in the beginning, you won't have any proof. You will have the opposite of proof. But the thing is, you will have to take action anyway. You will have to do it scared and uncomfortable, and you will have to take action and then fail over and over and over. And that's where the actually really psychologically challenging part kicks in, because you have to be extremely comfortable with experiencing a lot of failure. You will have to be comfortable with putting work out there into the world and having it go completely unnoticed and unappreciated, and to feel invisible for months, maybe years. And that is deeply, deeply uncomfortable. And that's also where most people fail, because most people are not willing to tolerate that level of intense discomfort for so long, because when you're in it, it does not feel like it is a part of the process, like everyone says. It feels like your beliefs and insecurities and self-doubts are all being validated by the world, right? When you feel invisible, that voice in your head that's like, you're too ugly for this, or no one will understand your accent, or your work isn't meaningful or compelling, no one's going to ever appreciate this. All of those doubts that you have, that like negative self-talk, all of it feels like it's being validated by the results that you are getting. And the thing is, the stuff that you are making, how you are sharing it, is at first probably just bad. The first videos that I ever posted on this channel back in 2020, the reason that I took so long to succeed is because I was learning how to make stuff that was good. I was learning how to show up on camera, how to get confident in my own skin and my own presentation style. I was learning video editing and scripting and how to come up with a really good idea. And at first, you won't know those things. Again, it is unreasonable to expect you to. Give yourself grace here. You are learning so many skills when you start a business, especially when you create content. Creating content, it is a unique test, I think, because so much of it is personal for us creatives. Our work is very personal. If you appear on camera, that's of course by definition personal, right? And you will have to get used to the way that you look and the way that you speak on camera. And at first, I was very much not used to that, and it was deeply uncomfortable. And again, it can feel like a personal rejection of you and your work and validating all of this like negative self-talk, but you are just not making quality content yet. It is a skill that you have to learn. It is not a rejection from the outside world. It is an invitation to keep going, because you are slowly but surely actually getting better. And I can almost guarantee it. I never thought that I would be a confident person. I have been insecure and defensive my entire life for a lot of reasons, but creating content consistently has made me more articulate. I can enunciate better, I can speak better extemporaneously, and I'm more articulate in that way as well. And I'm generally speaking more confident in the way that I look, in the way that I speak, in the way that I present myself to the world. It's a trial by fire, but the fire is worth walking through, because what you get on the other end is a better version of yourself. And when I was in that beginning stage, when I was just failing and showing up and failing and showing up and then failing over and over, I had no idea that I would succeed. I was kind of just continuing to do things through like sheer stubbornness. I was not confident. I was really, really not confident. Again, I started in 2020. That first year, I had gained 547 subscribers, I think it was. I had no idea that after that first year, just 6-9 months later, I would be monetized and have 10,000 subscribers. And then the spring of 2022, I went full time. The channel went viral. I gained something like 100,000 subscribers in like 4 or 5 months. It was really crazy. And because I for so long had like emotionally inured myself to the feelings of failure and that discomfort because I had to keep going. So I had to just take the L's over and over again. Because I had done all of that work to just get used to failure, I ended up being, and you will too, just completely emotionally unprepared for success. This is just a thing that happens to literally everyone. It is a natural phase that you go through. Because you have to get used to the discomfort of failure, when you start succeeding, it will be even more uncomfortable. It will test you in ways that you have never been tested before. Because unlike failure, success asks things of you. It forces you to change. It forces you to become the kind of person that can step into that success and feel at home in it. You will have to become someone new for the next chapter of your business and your life. And by contrast, failure pushes us down. It forces us to be who we were before. It tells you, no, you are dreaming too big. No, you are pushing too hard. No, you aren't that person. Failure is like an affirmation of the status quo, right? It doesn't ask things of us in the same way, but success does. Success, you will set a new standard, and then you will hold yourself to that standard psychologically, whether you realize it or not. And you will be emotionally unprepared for the expectations that success asks of you. So many words. I actually recently found a vlog that never really went public that I filmed right around this time, April of 2022, exactly 4 years ago, which is crazy. That's when the channel was blowing up. I was getting more brand deals, more attention, more comments, more success, more visibility, more money than I had ever gained before. It was comforting and validating because, in a sense, like all of that work that I had just done for the past, year and a half or whatever, 2 years, was validated. People were telling me, like, yes, we appreciate you. We think that your work has value. And that healed that part of me that had to inure myself to that failure over and over and over. But there was also that kind of sensitive new part of me that was like, oh my God, I have all of these new people watching. I have all of these expectations. Can I carry the weight of this?
I got an insanely exciting email. Like I'm shaking right now. My heart is like racing and it should not be. I'm like vibrating with anxiety. Like I'm watching my life change for the better in real time, but it is a little bit scary when you have anxiety and you're hit with all of the things that you've been wanting and working toward for years, and they just like, they come at you. It can like send you reeling in a way, and it like makes you wonder, am I worth this? Is this real? Is this gonna go away anytime soon?
Seeing Kelsey from 4 years ago, that 4 years ago version of me, it taught me how much I've grown since then, and genuinely how difficult dealing with sudden success is. And when you start succeeding, you might even sabotage yourself because you are unprepared for those feelings and that new kind of life that you are now living. What you have to do to get over that is to once again just keep going. Like, I know that it sounds so stupid and unhelpful, but the way that you get over that, the way that you build the confidence that you were lacking in the beginning is to just continue doing the thing. Because again, confidence is a result of evidence. It is a belief that you build through trial and experience. You will not be confident at the beginning because you are doing a thing that you've never done before. You will become confident when you begin to succeed because you are building a sort of library, a case file of evidence that you can handle this. You will never be confident in the beginning. That is the point. Anyone that tells you, just be confident, they're a fucking liar. I don't know. That's not my lived experience at any rate. My lived experience is that I am only ever confident when I have a history of being able to do the thing to a reasonable level of success or things like it. That is the difference, right? If you are approaching a new and unfamiliar situation, but if it's a little bit similar to a thing that you've done in the past, you will be more confident, right? Because you can rely on that experience. Your brain is not wired for confidence or comfort. Your brain is wired for survival. If you are trying to do a new thing, your brain is like, oh my God, wait, hold on, bestie. Like, let's take a step back here. That might be dangerous and bad and kill us. no thank you. And you have to be like, nope, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be scared and we're gonna do it anyway. And that's just a part of this. And I know that everyone says this, but it's kind of true, is the thing. As I kept posting videos every single week, all those anxieties that I kept mentioning, they got a little bit quieter over time, right? Because I was proving to myself that I could do this. I was building that confidence. And I ended 2022 having made $60,000 from my business in the mostly last 6 months of the year. And I have made six figures ever since. But imagine if I had let those anxieties control me. If I had let that fear and that discomfort ruin my life and tell me what I could and could not do. Before we move on, before I tell you about how too much confidence can actually be a danger to your business, I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. One of the things that changed for me when I began to experience more success online is that I needed a place to point people. I needed a hub for everything I do online, and Squarespace has been that for me for years now. I love Squarespace. I have used them, I think, since like 2018 for various projects. Well before I ever started this channel or became sponsored by them, I have been a Squarespace customer. Their fluid engine means that building a page is basically just dragging and dropping. Your website will be fluid and responsive and can look exactly the way that you want it to. It can be a perfect visual representation of your brand. And their e-commerce features mean that it'll grow with you, right? Whether you are selling digital products, coaching, services, an online course, a community, or running a full online store. Their templates are genuinely incredible, their customer service award-winning, and if you've been putting off building a proper website for your business, this is really genuinely an amazing place to start. Their plans are affordable, and if you want to give it a try, go to squarespace.com/Kelsey Rodriguez and use my code Kelsey Rodriguez for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay. Now, back to the story and how confidence can actually be a little bit dangerous. What nobody tells you is that confidence is actually pretty dangerous. So let's game things out here, right? Okay, so you were anxious and nervous and full of self-doubt, but you did things anyway. Very important. Now you are experiencing some levels of success, right? And we are trying to be that kind of person that can sit in that can take that going forward, that can feel at home in this identity. And with confidence comes comfort, right? And that's where the danger happens, because when you get comfortable, you get lazy and complacent, and things will start to dip. That's what happened to me. You will post a little bit less and you'll phone things in, so your posts will be worse on average. You will stop researching what's actually working, and you'll put in less effort overall on thumbnails and hooks and the extra hour of prep that used to kind of make the difference. You will stop being hungry. And I know this because this is exactly what happened to me. After the channel took off, I got comfortable, I got complacent, and it's only when things began to dip very seriously, where I was noticing the lines start to go like that I began to kind of kick myself into gear and get hungry again. And that's when things took off. And it took way longer than I would have liked to realize that and motivate myself to action. But it's really important to remember that success online is not a destination. It is not a place that you arrive at and then never have to do anything else again. That is not what this is. Success is a thing that you have to earn over and over, and you will have to keep earning it. And I'm not saying that you have to, work 24/7 and be super hustle culture-y, but you do have to be very aware of complacency and the dangers that can have to your business. So let that confidence build, but don't allow it to make you complacent. Don't allow it to kill your business slowly over time. And take action. Please, please take action. If you've been thinking about posting online, it has been one of the best things I've ever done for myself. I am more confident, I am more articulate, I am more the kind of person that I am proud to be because I did this, and not everyone has to do this. I'm not trying to push you into this career, but if you've been thinking about it, probably that's why you're watching this video. So I would push you to do it and take action even though you are scared, because confidence is a belief that you build. It is not a thing that you can pull out of thin air. Don't expect that of yourself. Okay, I hope this helps. See you later.